Here, you shouldn't do that with me. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you could join me for a moment of silence for men and women in uniform and those fighting the pandemic. Thank you. We'll open the meeting at 5 minutes after 6. I'm sorry, no, 3 minutes after 6. Apologize for being late. We have no adjustments to the agenda. If I could get a motion for approval of the minutes for the TIP workshop notes.
I'll make a motion to approve the Board of Selectmen TIP workshop minutes on October 19th, 2020.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Thank you. Regular meeting minutes of October 19th.
Make a motion that we approve the Board of Selectmen regular meeting minutes for October 19th, 2020. Okay.
Any questions, comments, changes? All in favor? Thank you. I didn't hear from Ethan, by the way. Did you?
Well, I saw him yesterday morning in the grocery store. His daughter had a doctor's appointment. He wasn't sure if he was going to have to take her to his parents.
Oh, okay. Because usually I get a text from him. But I
He
didn't
might be
hear
out
from
of
him.
town outside of service, so he might still show up late.
Okay, public to speak. Mark, do you have anything? Anything out there from Daryl, Kayla, or Rebecca? Okay, thank you. Boards and committees. Park Commission, you received all of those. Any questions? Comments? If I could just ask my colleagues here, under the planning board, there are a number of things in there that I've noticed that I would ask you to peruse, that they're going over for ordinance changes in the future. We've experienced some waterfront issues. There are some in there that they're looking at, so just take a peek at those if you would. Consent items on the number 6, liquor license for the Hungry Trout.
Make a motion to approve the liquor license renewal for the Hungry Trout Inc. Second.
Moved and seconded. I have nothing. Do you?
Nothing.
Shelley? All in favor? Thank you. Event permit, Rangeley Health and Wellness Girls Run. Joe says that they're moving it to the 15th. That's the change to be made in that, correct? That's correct. Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the event permit application submitted by Rangeley Health and Wellness for the Girls on the Run, K Your Way Boys Adventure Running Club 5K scheduled for November 15th, 2020. Go ahead.
Moved and seconded. Anything else? All in favor? Thank you. Rangeley Rotary, 12 Days of Christmas Tree Viewing.
Make a motion that we approve the event permit application submitted by the Rangeley Rotary for the 12 Days of Christmas. Starting November 27th through December 15th. Second.
Questions? All in favor? We have a little bit of cleanup with a quick claim deed, book 3266, page 7.
I'll make a motion that we approve the municipal quick claim deed in the inhabitants of the municipality of Rangeley to Alan and Kimberly Elliott, which takes care of the lien certificate recorded on 7/28/2010 in book 3266, page 7. Second.
Questions? All in favor? Thank you. Thanks for catching that. We need to appoint the town manager as a public access officer. So I'd like to start off by appointing Joe Roach, town manager, as our public access officer.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Joe Roach, our town manager, to act as the town of Rangeley public access officer.
Second. Quick vote. Question?
Yes. What is a public access officer?
Go ahead, Joe.
I can read that, Mr. Chairman. Just want to point out, Mr. Chair, that the Zoom folks are offline at the moment. I don't know if you want to pause, if you want me to read that for you.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yep.
So the public access officer is described in main statute. Each agency, county, municipality.
Let me interrupt 1 second. Do we need to have Zoom on to continue the meeting?
It would be a courtesy, at least a courtesy.
How long do you think it'll take to get it back?
The computer's still working.
I can hear you guys.
Richie, can they hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, let's carry on.
Okay. Yeah, you hear?
Yep, I can hear you guys just fine.
Is that a yes?
They might have lost power too.
Go ahead, everyone. Dale's, we'll see Daryl.
Yeah, so they probably all lost.
Okay,
power
good.
also.
Yep.
So each agency, county, municipality, school district, or other political subdivision shall designate an existing employee as its public access officer to serve as the contact person for that agency, county, municipality, et cetera, with regard to requests for public records under this subchapter, which is Title I, Chapter 13, Subchapter 1, Subsection 413.1. The first 5, so the public access officer is responsible for ensuring that each public record request is acknowledged within 5 working days of the receipt of the request by the office responsible for maintaining the public record requested, and then a good faith public estimate of when the response to the request will be completed is provided according to Section 408.
So that's like the Freedom of Information
That
Act
is the
stuff?
freedom of access person. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly what it is.
All right.
Yeah. And I've asked the board to appoint me, and then I can work with staff to
Yep.
provide those things to the public as needed.
Good. Questions from Kayla, Rebecca, or Daryl? Okay, I need a motion.
I made the motion.
Oh, you did make the motion. Thank you.
Just need a
All in favor? Thank you. Carry forwards for fiscal year 2021. You have any questions regarding these numbers?
In the motion, do you want the individual monetary amounts referenced?
As presented.
Whatever your pleasure is, it would be cleaner if you noted each amount.
Okay.
Account.
I'll make a motion that we approve the carry forwards from fiscal year 2020 to fiscal year 2021 for the following categories. For the HRA account, health reimbursement, $4,919.85. For the TIF consultant, $15,000. For loan and grills, and this is for the town park, $2,500. For the tennis and basketball courts, to overhaul the tennis and basketball courts in Rangeley and Aquasic, $20,000 is carried forward. For the gooser, $35,000, a new gooser for Parks and Rec, and Christmas decorations in the amount of $8,595. Second.
Thank you. Any questions? All in favor? Thank you. We have no correspondence. Whole business. Second reading of the RREOC bylaws. You will see the changes that were requested. We've taken out E, a municipal officer may not serve as a voting member of the RREOC. F, there should be every effort made to seek plantation residents along with Rangeley and Aquasic, and there should be residents behind Aquasic, the period after that. Page 2, the change is under officers, paragraph A, they are to follow Robert's rules, should be adopted and followed by the committee. Questions? All right, motion to accept.
I make a motion to accept the Rangeley Region Economic Opportunities Committee mission and bylaws for their second reading with the correction.
Second.
Any comments? Further discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Saddleback kiosk. Again, it's requested that it go to the Chamber of Commerce. You see that in front of you. The motion.
Did we make a motion last time?
No, there was no action taken last time. There was a discussion, presentation from Saddleback. And then in thinking about the feedback from that meeting, I thought it would be good if the board were interested in going forward, that they would consider an action to allow that there, allow the placement of the Saddleback ticket machine outside of Rangeley Pumper Station at the back wall of the Chamber of Commerce for the winter 2021 season.
Period of 1 year.
For a period of 1 year, and with the condition that the Park Commission review it at the next meeting. So pending approval of the Park Commission. That would be my recommendation. And I did share that with Mr. Shepherd on the phone last week, and he was okay with that.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the placement of the Saddleback kiosk on the backside of the Chamber of Commerce building for a period of 1 year.
Before, you're gonna second it? Are you
Yeah,
second?
I was gonna say pending approval. For
Pending approval, that is exactly, from the
Parks and-
Parks Commission.
Now, just to be clear, the placement is underneath the overhang where you walk into the bathrooms
Okay,
on the right-hand side, which is the side of the Chamber of Commerce building underneath the overhang.
okay.
Right. Yeah. Okay, moved and seconded, yes. Question?
Second or-
I can't, even-
We didn't second it yet.
I thought you seconded it.
Yeah, I do now.
Yeah, I wrote it down as
Sorry.
usual. Yeah, okay. Any other questions about it? How about out here? All set? All in favor? Thank you. TIF timeline. Joe, you want to fill us in on all of this?
Sure. So the first, there were two things I want to talk about first. The first of them, as you know, the workshop was postponed tonight. And that was a result of conversations at the last meeting where the geographic boundaries were kind of expanded. The assessors, Daryl and Rebecca, and all those involved had to kind of get the map and lot information, coordinate that. Daryl had it, and now it's at Alyssa's office, and she's doing the calculations. Daryl and Alyssa doing the calculations that are related to the valuations. So that's why we had to postpone. It took a little more time to do that. Because of the postponement, your TIF timeline has changed. So I think the first thing that I would like to talk about with you is when the public hearing will take place. So this timeline that you have in your packet moves the workshop that would have taken place this evening to the 16th of November. That's when originally your public hearing was going to take place. So in talking with Tracy and Daryl, we looked at the week of December 7th, which is a Monday. So you're already booked that night for a meeting and another workshop or something else. I wondered if you wanted to do something on the 8th, 9th, and 10th for the public hearing. And that way you could devote, whatever time it took, an hour and a half, couple hours.
Right. It probably should be its own event.
The 8th is a Tuesday, I believe, 9th is a Wednesday, 10th is a Thursday.
Either the 9th or the 10th, I'm sorry, either the 8th, any of those days work fine.
Shelley,
That's fine.
let's go Tuesday then.
Okay,
You want to start at 5?
5 o'clock?
It's fine, yep.
5 p.m. Cindy, what does that say on that? There's something underneath. Oh, no, it's a step. Okay. Okay, anything else with that? I'll come to you.
No, I think that if the board votes to do that, to schedule a public hearing for that night, and then adopt the rest of the timeline, I think that takes care of that.
Okay, is your question about the time frame for this Tuesday, Dave?
No, not for the. Tuesday
Let's get the Tuesday date done and then we'll go back into it.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll go back into that in a second. All right, so you're good with Tuesday? I'll take a motion to change it for that day. Excuse me, to schedule a public hearing.
I'll make a motion that we schedule a public hearing for the purpose of discussing the tax increment financing district on December 8th at 5 o'clock.
5 p.m. All in favor? All right, thanks. All right, do you have any more with Tiff? And then I'll ask Daryl to,
I do have a couple more things, Mr. Chairman. The second item beyond that timeline, actually, I wonder if the board should actually also vote to adopt this timeline now that you have set the public hearing, but if you adopt the rest of the timeline, that would solidify the rest of the meetings in this timeline, because this changes your the date for your public hearing was the 16th, and now it's going to be a workshop. So,
all right, before we do that though, you want to talk a little bit about your maps?
Sure.
Then we'll do the whole process in one go.
okay, sounds good. So the map, which is right after that timeline I just talked about, is a result of a couple of things. The most important thing is it's a result of the discussion the board had at your last meeting. We captured the extra parcels that you had pointed out. And one day when the assessor was working on it, I came by and Matt pointed out a couple of minor details. I don't know if you can see it or not, but this lot here, over in this corner, the original line was just drawn straight across this lot. And
You take that.
Matt recommended, instead of bisecting that lot, just include the whole map, the whole lot. And I agreed with that. And then the same thing happened over on this side of the map. This was kind of cut off right here, and Matt said, well, there's, this lot contains this land area, so.
That's a little diamond I made in that left-hand page, Mark, and then the other one in the right-hand page.
Yeah, there's one right here, Mark, this little guy. Okay, that's included. The board did not see that last time. And then this guy over here, all the way. Yeah, so this is everything you talked about at your last meeting, plus those two administrative details that I added on the advice of Matt and Daryl. So those are the maps updated based on your last meeting.
Thank you.
Yep.
So that captures all of those things that you wanted to capture in terms of geographical boundaries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Briefly, Daryl, do you have any other additions you want to comment on?
Yes, unmute himself.
Can't do it?
He has to do it. Daryl has to unmute himself.
You got to unmute yourself.
He's trying.
Daryl, there should be 3 little blue dots in the top of your screen, and if you click that, you should be able to unmute yourself.
All right, we're gonna go the old fashioned way. Daryl, give me the thumbs up if Joe did a good job. Very good. Thank you very much. We're gonna move on. Okay, Mark, your question.
I haven't looked at the timeline lately, but is the vote in March, is that correct? And I realize in March, you know, you capture stuff back the year before. Are there problems if it went to like a regular town meeting there?
Yes.
In June?
We would miss our time frame. April 1 becomes the endpoint for what we could have captured the previous year. And that's designated by the state. That's their time frame. Is that correct, Daryl? Thumbs
So
up?
it would set you back.
I'm live now. I had to take the battery out of my mouse and then re-click.
Okay, thank you. All right.
It's March 31st, Mr. Chairman, that is the end of the period. So April 1st starts the new period next year, the assessment period. So essentially, you know, if I could, Mr. Chair, any development that's happening right now in this fiscal year or this year, March 31 and April 1st, wouldn't be captured if it went past March 31st. Other than that, there's no penalty to go forward, but you would miss that valuation. And I do have a note from one of the towns that responded to the questionnaire I sent out, kind of references that, if you want to get into that later on.
Go ahead.
So what that town had said was they built, and I think Darryl worked for this town, they built or set up a downtown TIF district. Basically on speculation. This was a few years ago, and really they haven't had a lot of development yet, and they're kind of hopeful, waiting for the development to happen within that district. What's happening here, what has happened here at Rangeley, is there has been some development in this district that they picked out, and if the calendar goes past March 31st, that new valuation will be missed. It won't be captured. The baseline will be higher next year. So if your baseline's lower and you have more valuation, then you're going to capture more valuation. But if it's higher when you start, you're not going to capture as much of that.
Anything else, Mark?
Well, my only reason in asking that, and I thought I understood it was a capture thing, was, you know, just trying to educate the residents of the town that, you know, first of all, that Rangeley's looking into a TIF, because I think 99% of the people aren't aware of that. And then, you know, what that involves, and I mentioned it to Tracy, we spoke there a week ago, and I didn't know if there was either Daryl or the attorney that we have has a media packet that they use to present to their residents. You know, our attorney had a summary there, but I didn't know if they had a lighter version of that, you know, maybe we could have Stephanie put in the Highlander every issue over the next 4 issues, you know, 3, 4 issues, whatever it took to do that, just so people could become more aware of it and get response. Because I just think if all of a sudden it comes up for a vote and 99% of the people don't know what's going on, which it isn't the selectmen's fault. You know, you've done this, but you just know how things go.
Yeah, no disagreement.
So that's kind of what I was.
Well, we have 3 issues between now and then, but we could do just that.
Oh, there's a press release. Yeah, there's a press release in your packet.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, we have a press release ready to go. We just need to tweak it based on the approval of tonight's TIF timeline. So that will start that process. And then we have a couple FAQs for TIF that we could send out to, you know, have more public information out there over the next couple weeks.
Very good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
because it's not an easy thing to understand.
No, you're right.
And,
Yeah, so.
you know, I'm just a little uncomfortable about it.
So right after my call, Tracy let me know, and we talked about it, and we reached out to Daryl and put this together, and I agree, I was ready to release and put it out there, and then the issue came up with the timing and the timeline. And we figured, and I think it was the right decision, we better hold this back until we know the dates, because I think what would be worse than not giving information would be shoot, wrong dates. So I definitely, once we know this for sure, which we do now.
Well, assuming that this timeline that we have in front of us tonight passes, we then can release the draft release, and then subsequent informational packets can go into the paper. I'm not sure how they'll be editorialized, but be that as it may, do our best to educate. I think Mark's point's a good one.
Yep.
Certainly, there could be pickup packets on the counter, with
Mm-hmm.
the district.
Yep. Yep.
And the release and.
Yeah, almost like you would a moratorium, get some printed stuff out on the counter and stuff and put a notice there that, maybe that thing that the town's attorney did prepare, for you folks there about what is a TIF, and how they work and all of that stuff, something like that,
What's the availability for us to stock post office boxes?
We could do mass media mailing. We'd have to look into the pricing of that, but it's cheaper to do it by mass media, I think. We get a cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do that. If the board's interested in it, we could definitely.
Just, to Mark's point though, getting it out to as many people as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever press release you put out though, make sure that the Facebook page and other social media contacts are in it. Need a motion?
I will make a motion to approve the Town of Rangeley Tax Increment Financing District timeline as presented.
Second.
You okay with it, Cheryl?
Well, no, I was like thinking, as presented, as we talked about the changing of the meeting on December 8th.
We've already put the 8th in it, so now we have a date for that timeline. That's why I did it that way.
All right.
Yep. Any other questions, comments? All in favor? Thank you.
Can I just make another comment? I think if information is going to be put on the Town of Rangeley website, it should be in a really obvious location.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Not-
not there right now, but it's the links down below.
It
You
is
have to
just
look
down
for it.
below and,
I
yeah.
agree with that.
Thank you. Anything else? We don't have any new business. Town manager reports. You've got your finance department. Well, I'm sure everybody's taking a look at those. Question on the fund balances, reserve fund balances? No? We're good with that? I'll let you get to it.
Yeah. Okay.
First one, number 10. Well, excuse me, under the,
Yeah, everything's right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
expense summary reports. Questions on that? Okay, yes.
On that, is that like every page? I mean, it just jumps from 1 to 3 to
Make sure that's loud enough for
5.
Rebecca to hear you.
It just skips like every other page on the expense, is that, or is that just mine?
Yeah, I'm just looking like that too, Cheryl.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not printed on the back.
I think I know on that, I can get it in practice.
Well, I'm just wondering if there's some way to, like, for example, on the expense report, I've seen them in Trio before, and they can have like basically the top information, not necessarily itemizing everything underneath it. I didn't know if there's any way to get something like that, and then just if something is over or under budget for something, just like a brief explanation. I mean, just so you don't have to see like every single line item. It just, I'm thinking of saving on paper.
We'll update that, Mr. Chairman, and get it to you in your next packet.
Yep. So in terms of content, no questions about content in that regard?
No.
Okay. What about road construction loan breakdown?
I like that before.
You want that?
Yeah.
Good. Anything jump out at you, Cindy?
No, I like the spreadsheet.
Yep. Good. All right. While we're on road construction, in front of you, you have that information from Wright Pierce.
Mm.
Why don't we go to that? If there's no more comments regarding. I believe, Cindy, you requested this?
Yep, I did.
Yep.
Thank you for putting this together, Joe.
You're welcome, Mr. Chairman. I want to give Keith credit for that. He came back from vacation and got right on it today. So.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, and that was, again, I'll give all the credit to Bill, Jeff Rebel, request this morning, and he put it out this week, so. Team effort.
Any questions for Keith?
I will say, I don't have what I found right now, but obviously that number, that change order looks, I'm good with it. It's a change order, but obviously when we broke down that project to two halves, a large part of that number, that $900,000 makes that change order look very exuberant. But we know that was an overall cost of the project, so it does reflect the change order, but explanation of at least that one change order of $900,000, we'll say, at least it reflects poorly in the idea of change orders, but.
But it's clearly spelled out.
But it's,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah, but it's a modification from the original
Correct.
contract, so it's a
Right.
change order.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right. Taking that up.
Anything for Keith in this? Okay. Thank you, Keith. And Joe and all of those who assisted. Remember tomorrow, folks, National Election Day, also a local election. On November 3rd, polls open at 8 o'clock in the morning, correct? Close at 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
Correct.
It's going to be held in the fire barn.
That's correct.
Social distancing will be expected. Mask on everybody.
Long
Please.
underwear.
Please come and vote. I'm sorry I missed that.
Long underwear.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Probably be chilly. But again, a lot going on tomorrow for the town and for the country and the state of Maine. November 12th, 2020 is revision solar ribbon cutting ceremony in Skowhegan. Joe is going to attend. I am not going to attend, but if the three of you are going to attend, we need to post it.
Highly unlikely.
Kelly?
No, I haven't.
All right, then we don't need to post it. Very good. December 7th, 2020 at 5 p.m. consolidated broadband presentation here at the town office at 5 p.m. Broadband presentation. December 21st, 21 at 5 p.m. AvCog. It's a meeting here, workshop as well for form-based code. Anything under, yes, sir.
I'm just wondering if the plantations have been invited to that consolidated broadband presentation.
Yes, Mr. Chair, they all have. Yep. As far as I know, they're all coming.
Okay, good.
And that will be,
Diana.
it'll be in this room. Consolidated will be present with you, and then the plantations will participate via Zoom. So some of those folks are gonna go to their respective town offices and Zoom in with you that way.
Good, wonderful. Yes, Mark.
Form-based code, could you?
Go ahead, Jim.
Sure, so form-based code is on the agenda because it came up under a different term a few weeks ago or a month or two ago about franchises in the ordinance, what was referred to as franchise ordinance. That discussion developed into a conversation about form-based code. Talking with AvCog's planner, who was Shelley Norton, Bailey reached out to her after that meeting, and we're really, it's difficult to restrict the type of businesses that may go in or the ownership, but you can, the town can, through form-based code, determine what the architecture would look like. And it's actually referenced in our downtown plan, it may even be in the comp plan, but I know it's referenced downtown revitalization plan to look at form-based code, which really looks more at the architecture of a community and less about who owns the property. Whether it's McDonald's or whatever. If it looks like Rangeley,
It can be a
you can make it fit right.
So who did you say was the senior planner there?
Her name is Shelley Norton.
Norton?
Norton, Norton. Shelley has 2 E's.
And so she's the one that would work with us on planning issues. I know John Maloney had retired.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of filling issues, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Any other questions on it? Other business? Yes,
I do have one thing, Mr. Chair, just for information's sake, I did get a call recently from interested parties with the IGA parking lot. The town has a lease for parking currently. The property is involved in a purchase and sale agreement right now, but the pending owner has expressed to us that he's willing to and interested in extending the lease for snowmobile parking throughout this next winter. So he just kind of wanted to let us know, and I told him I would let the board know. But once it's closed, he's going to give me a call and we'll have a renewed proposed lease for it. Part of that package was a notice not to renew. That was part of the original lease. So that came first, and then the conversation about purchase and sale agreement came second. So I said I'd let you know as soon as I could. Once it closes, I'll have some more information for you.
good, thank you.
Was that agreement in lieu of taxes? Is that how that
I believe that's how it
worked?
was
The town
written.
didn't charge them tax and they let it be?
I believe that's how that was written, yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions on it? Okay. Select board communications. Shelley? Cindy? Okay, I had one communication here, I'll share real quick. There was a couple of phone calls about the cemetery. I went back and asked Tracy to give me a breakdown of the cutting and
Oh, I
what we
did get-
agreed upon.
I did get a call about that.
And so
Okay.
everything that's being done is done according to what we agreed upon on the meeting in 9/7 of 2020. It is quite shocking,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
but we did agree upon it. So that I have called them back after receiving that. We also have a FEMA letter was sent to me, and the town manager and crew will take care of that as soon as it's done. They'll throw us in. And I don't have anything else. Okay. You have a extensive, let me get back to this thing. What Shelley catching me? You have an extensive packet that we don't need an executive session on tonight, but I would encourage you all to review it, get it back to the town manager. Having nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Yeah.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Have a great night.